Hey, this is Jason, the 7th grade millionaire, with another, just a real quick episode. Everybody always wants to know, how do you start your business? How do you start? But I think a lot of people, when they ask that question, they basically want somebody to tell them every single step of what to do. So I'm going to try to make this as easy as possible. First of all, you got to ask yourself, what can I make money with? Now, before I talked about a power washer, right? Same thing goes for a lawnmower. The same thing goes for blacktop. You can seal coat driveways. You can do 100 of them a day if you work hard enough and bring a buddy, and you get $150, $200 a driveway depending on the size. So there's a million legal ways to go out there and earn fast cash money, get paid the same day, and you just save that. Now here's the thing about being in business, and it doesn't matter if you're selling cars, it doesn't matter if you're any business that you're in. I mean, you have to be a man of your word. If you're saying that you're going to do something, you have to do it, even if it costs you money out of your own pocket. People all talk, and you can do something nice for somebody, and that person will probably not tell anybody about it ever again. But if you ever have something bad happen, if something ever goes wrong, believe me, they're going to tell their whole frickin' family, everybody on Facebook. So it's very important. If you're going to be in business for yourself, if you're going to make money, you have to be a man of your word. People have to know that you're a straight shooter. That will literally, I would say, probably take your clientele, and it's going to take it from, this to this. I mean, Grant Cardone always talks about 10x. I mean, this is probably going to be like 1,000x, because let's say you're cutting somebody's grass, right? $30. You do a nice job every week. Nice job. You never take shortcuts, because that one shortcut day will be the day where somebody's driving by and think, that's not that nice of a job. But by being consistent, by putting all your effort into it, I bet you one of the neighbors comes over and says, hey, what would you charge to do my yard? Before you know it, you're doing 5, 6, 7 yards on the same block. Same with the driveways. These are fast cash businesses. You're going to get paid on the spot. You're going to be able to save some money quick. You're going to be able to buy yourself a house. Not a mansion, a house. Like I said, every market is different, but where we're at here, 10 grand will buy you a fixer-upper house. 20 grand will get you not too shabby of a house. It's going to need a lot of work, but I mean, cosmetics. We're not talking about anything with structural damage. You don't want nothing that's falling off the foundation. You don't want, something that's on fire. That's okay if it's been on fire. No big deal. You're going to want to check all the history to see if the building's been condemned, and there's a lot to it. But the most important thing is you're trying to save money so that you can buy your own house. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to bust your ass doing whatever it is you decide to do. You're going to be a man of your word. You're not never going to cut corners. There was a saying, and I don't know who I heard it from, but I think the saying goes that you don't need a job, you need an occupation. You need a skill that is so valuable that even if people don't like you, they're still going to use your services. So that's the thing. You have to be needed. So many people nowadays. As an employer, I think I own 5 companies right now. As an employer, it's so hard to get good help. Anybody that shows up on time, it starts off, they say, hey, be here at 8 o'clock. 8:15 rolls around, I overslept. Next day they call and, I got court. Don't be that guy, because once you're needed, once your services are so good that people actually need you, they can count on you, that's when you can start raising your prices a little bit. You're not going to price gouge, but just like anything else, you're going to start off with an introductory price, and then as time goes on and they see your quality and other people observe the quality of what you're doing or the quality of your merchandise, whatever it is, you can raise the price a little bit, because now people know what you're worth. Your reputation, you only got one chance to make your reputation. With my reputation, like I said, I started with $50. I got a job for a buddy of mine. He picked me up at 7 a.m. and he picked me up. I couldn't drive back then. My license was suspended. So it just shows you how screwed up I had my own self. So here I am in my early 20s, no license, getting picked up at 7 a.m. to go to work, and we would get back at about 10:30, 11 p.m. He'd drop me back off, and I was making $200 or $250 a week. And he did not buy breakfast, he did not buy lunch. There was not anything there to drink. So you're outside, 110 degrees, working, and you're drinking out of the hose. I mean, people take better care of their dogs, but what I accomplished by being dedicated, I never screwed the guy around, never complained. The only time I didn't show up for work is one day it was so hot, I was over 105, I think, maybe 110, I don't remember, it's been a long time. I got a heat stroke. washing his cars. And who even wants their cars washed when it's 110 degrees? It's gonna leave water spots everywhere, but that's what he wanted, and he was my boss, and I said, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So, and when I say boss, this is a guy I knew, so it's a little bit different. I mean, it's not like I went and filled out an application to go work at the movie theater. But years go on. I went above and beyond. So it went from me washing the cars to me selling the cars. And then I came up with an idea, putting people on the books. We would finance because the banks were getting very, very sluggish. They were getting afraid. The finance companies even, they didn't want to loan. I think it was 70% would be all that they would loan of the blue book of the car. Yeah, you can't buy a good car for that. Most people don't have the other 30%. So I said, listen, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna finance them ourselves. Well, when you do that, what ends up happening is you get a bunch of repos. People don't pay their bills. So I took it upon myself for the same, I think by that time I might have been up to like $400 a week because he saw how much more money I was making him. So for the same $400 a week or $450, I can't remember, I would go repo the cars after hours. He never would even ask me to. He would just say, get it on the clock, and I'd say, no, it's easier to take these at night. We're gonna get them tonight. And I would pay out of my own pocket to go get his cars. So you say, why would you do that? It probably cost me more hiring people and gas, and I'm sure he gave me some of the gas money back, but why would you do that? Well, because I'm dedicated. Work is in my blood. If you wanna be an entrepreneur, if you wanna be a rich guy, if you wanna be self-employed, there's no days off. There's no days off. It's 24/7. 365. That's it. And it's a tough way to live. When you got a family, you got children. I have a family. I have children. I have grandchildren. My job, unfortunately, it takes priority over my kids. And that's not me saying that to be, a bad person, but it's just the truth. If I want my kids to go to this private school, if I want them to live in a good neighborhood, I need to be working. I need to make sure my kids have everything they need. And I don't care what it does to me to get it. If I smoke too much, I shouldn't smoke at all. It's terrible. I eat fast food. But why do I do those things? Moving. I got a goal to accomplish it. I'm going to accomplish this goal by any means necessary. It's not going to be an easy ride, but if you're dedicated, if you've got it in your blood, but if you're one of them people that you say, well, how many days off a week do I get? This isn't for you. This isn't for you. That's why America is the way it is because people don't really want to work. They just want the paycheck. So my guy saw how dedicated I was. I actually made him so much money that he retired. And I can't remember the exact conversation, but it was something to the extent of, hey, I'm not going to keep doing this. I'm not happy with the way that putting the inventory on the car lot. And he says, I'll tell you what, why don't you just buy this place from me? Well, I didn't have the money, but he knew I was a man of my word. So he made me an offer. I will give you 3 years to pay me off for this business in full. And I paid it off in 2 years, 10 months, and 14 days. I'll never forget that. 2 years, 10 months, 14 days, the most stressful time of my life. Now the property's paid for, my houses are all paid for. The struggle was worth it. It was absolutely worth it because, most people don't ever get their house paid for. Most people don't ever get a car paid for. They're trading it in before it's ever paid off. They just keep digging that hole deeper and deeper and deeper, and it doesn't need to be. I'm actually at a point in my life where I've done everything. I've done everything. I'm gonna post pictures online. I went and bought a brand new Lamborghini Huracan Spider. That means convertible. 2-wheel drive. No, it was all-wheel drive. It was all-wheel drive. It was a white car with a black top. I went and wrote him a check for it. And it wasn't that great. When you got a car like that, you think it's gonna be great. Yeah, it's awesome. But then you start realizing there's a responsibility with it. You can't park it nowhere. You're trying to drive down the road and people are almost running into you because they're trying to take a picture with this hand when they're driving. I've done all that stuff and I'm at a point in my life where I'm probably going to downsize. I don't need this giant house. I don't need a Lamborghini. I sure don't need a Bentley. I bought one of those too. I bought a brand new Bentley, a white Bentley GTC convertible. I bought it at Perillo in Downers Grove. Wrote him a check for it. Brand new, white, with a white leather interior. I think they call it linen white, And same thing, you're afraid to breathe on the car because it's so perfect. And I'm not a fancy guy. I don't go out to eat. I don't know what I was thinking when I bought those cars, but if I could go back, I would definitely not do it. But it's a good experience. I got it out of my system. Got it totally out of my system. Now, not only do I still have the car lot, but I have a lot of real estate, commercial, residential. Got some businesses. There's more businesses in the works. And if there's something I can do, some advice that you could use, if you need from somebody that's not going to pull no punches, That mortgage shit, that is basically slavery. You're committing to someone for 30 years. You buy the house cash. You suck it up, you save your money, and you buy a dump and you fix it. And that's how you get out of the hole. That's how you start making a fortune. Because once you do your own house, you got a place to live, right? And you got all your experience of fixing your house, you're gonna put in the ones that are your rentals. You can use your primary hustle. That's gonna be whatever. No, everybody needs a backup, and that backup is gonna be real estate. Because the real estate, don't get involved in the stock market. The stock market is a losing game. I'm not smart enough to play it. Most people aren't smart enough to play it. I mean, I know some very intelligent people that'll say, oh, well, the stock market, it's got about an 8 to 10% gain, over the past 30 years. Okay, I believe it does. But what about in 08, 07, and 08 when the stock market crashed? And so many people lost their jobs. They went to go cash in their 401k or whatever it was, and, everybody lost everything. So not only did they lose their homes when the mortgage bubble popped, whatever they had in their invested, that's gone. There were people sleeping in their cars. These were people that were making over $100,000 a year and had families because they gambled in something that it's a rigged game. Do not get involved in the stock market. You can take that money, and just off the advice of what I give you here, you can take, if you're lucky enough to have 50 or 60 or 80 grand and, your 401k, whatever it is, cash out, take the penalty, no big deal, put it in your account, and let's make some money with it. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Remember, your word is all you got. Don't break it for nothing, because that word is going to make you a lot of money. That reputation will make you a lot of money. I have people call me all the time, and they know exactly what I do. I can repossess a car like that. Also, they know I got houses. People call me, hey, I know you got some nice houses. Do you have anything for rent? I have a waiting list between 35 and 45 people that are pre-qualified. People that are willing to give me deposits for when I have a house open. I don't take them because that's just too complicated. I call the list when I get a house open. I have about 50 houses right now, 100% occupied. When people say, oh, well, you duplexes. And no, not duplexes. Nothing wrong with duplexes, but because of my area here, because of this, the demographic of this area, if you do the math, the apartment complexes and stuff like that, some of them are costing $75,000 and $80,000 a door, meaning per unit. You can buy houses here for cheaper than that. I buy family, single family houses, let's just say 3-bedroom, 1 bath. You get them for 50 grand, rental quality. When I say rental quality, I mean, I don't go in and put granite in. I make sure it's a nice, solid, clean house. And I know that they're gonna mess stuff up while they're there. They're gonna have a kid, they're gonna have a dog, but it's still a very nice place. I don't fix it up so specifically so that I do not get my feelings hurt. If I lay all new carpet, which I've done, if it needs carpet, I'll put brand new carpet in it. But if it doesn't really need it, and the carpet that's in the house is good enough, let your dog run on that. He's gonna run on it, he's gonna be a dog, let him do it on the old carpet. So, and then that is gonna get you an extra $1,000 a month. So let's say you wind up with 10 houses, which is not difficult. With the way I'm telling you to do it, 10 houses is not difficult. You're getting $10,000 a month. You got to ask yourself, do you even make $10,000 a month now? Because the way I'm telling you to do it, there's no effort. It requires zero effort. Just the initial purchase, and that's it. And you're ready to roll. And as long as you set it up, you got a good roof, you got a good furnace, good windows, water heaters, fairly new, you ain't got to worry about that house no more. There's a lot more to come. Any questions you have, put them in the comments below. Hit the like button. Number one thing, hit the like button. Please subscribe, and let's make some money, all of us.